to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan, Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in SciCam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carl P. Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. It was a record-breaker Sunday yesterday, and they're hoping for the same thing today as the crowds continue to come through the gate here at the Bloomsburg Fair in Columbia County. A little bit later in this newscast, we'll talk to you about the crowds and about what's happening here tonight. Karen?
Well, Nolan, topping the news tonight, the governor is in the hospital. And doctors say Governor Casey may have suffered what's called a silent heart attack within the last month. A silent heart attack can cause damage to the heart without the victim feeling any symptoms. The governor, as you know, is from Scranton. He's now listed in fair condition at the Hershey Medical Center. This is what doctors say happened. An electrocardiogram, a heart test taken today, showed some kind of abnormality. The chief of cardiology says it's something usually seen in patients who have suffered a heart attack. If the governor did have a heart attack, doctors say it appears it would have been minor, and it would have happened sometime between August 31st and today. These pictures were taken last month. A spokesman says the governor will undergo more tests.
All I can tell you is we have no reason to believe this is anything but a routine follow-up, that there is a possible abnormality that they want to check out.
Tomorrow, the governor will be tested to see if there's any blockage in his arteries. Doctors say they're simply being cautious. In the meantime, the governor is running the state from his hospital bed. Governor Casey, who is 55, is expected to stay in the hospital at least overnight. Striking teachers in the Mid-Valley School District has been off the job now for weeks. How are the students and parents getting along without school? Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini went to Lackawanna County to find out.
Teachers have picketed out in front of the Mid-Valley Administration Building for what would have been 20 school days. And for 20 would-be school days, Stephen and Scott Casper have been trying to keep themselves busy. Scott should be a 5th grader, and Stephen was ready to go into the 7th grade.
Well, a few days is all right, but he said he used to be in school. I mean, I'd like to go to a different school because we're not going back.
Their mother doesn't work, but when she has things to do, the boys stay with their grandparents.
I really don't mind them, but like I say, I prefer them to be in school. To get an education. To get their education, sure.
This is the Jamesway store in Dunmore. The store secretary, Pamela Bruni, lives in Troop and expected her daughter, Lauren, to start 1st grade this year. But Lauren has been allowed to stay at the Troop daycare center while Mom works.
Right now, she should be out of the daycare. She's too old for it. The children there are younger than her, and she's bored. She cries. She doesn't want to go. Where she would rather go to 1st grade.
Lauren's younger sister, Danielle, is also here all day instead of spending half a day in kindergarten. Their mother must pay for 2 children full-time rather than 1 child half a day.
In fact, the people who run this daycare center tell us now they are taking care of 12 children on a full-time basis. And 6 of those are here because of the strike. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Troop.
A walkout today at the Western Wayne School District, but this time it was not the teachers, rather some students. The superintendent tells Newswatch 16 about 60 seniors walked out of class today protesting troubles they've had during the teachers' contract dispute in that Wayne County district. Teachers have been staging selective strikes, that is, deciding day by day whether to report to class. The seniors are afraid they won't graduate on time if that dispute is not settled soon. The students went back to class today after meeting with 2 principals for about a half hour. And when Newswatch 16 continues, taking in public opinion on plans for the Steamtown National Park in downtown Scranton.
Plus, later on the Pennsylvania Road, our Mike Stevens will take a look at a Taste Street that's been here at the fair for more than 40 years. Citrus Hill Select big new 96-ounce jug. Sure got a whole lot to love.
Citrus Hill Select, just expression from the heart. And put it in a shell, but that's only where it goes. It's refillable, shippable, and doesn't make a mess. Your family's going to love it, cause it helps you to stay fresh. Taste it, twist it, beautiful. Our big 96-ounce celebrate so much more than that.
Recently Bonanza restaurants came to me and said, Marty, we got steak, chicken, and seafood dinners at great prices.
But now we want to give an even better deal. Can you help us? No problem.
Yes, Monty, now for only $4.99, you can get a delicious half-pound T-bone steak dinner that includes the all-you-can-eat fresh sausage food bar and free soft serve sundae only at Bonanza.
Bonanza, you got a deal.
Tonight it's your chance to speak your mind about plans to turn Steamtown, USA into a National Historic Site. Newswatch 16's Melissa Sandler is live now at Steamtown in Stanton. What are those plans, Melissa?
Well, as you know, the National Park Service is close to finalizing its plans to turn this site, the old Delaware-Lackawanna Western Rail Yard, into a working railroad yard, a replica of that, along with a huge collection of the old locomotives and other historic railroad equipment. But before doing that, the Park Service has to hear from the people. Now, tonight and tomorrow night, starting at 7 o'clock at the Lackawanna Hilton Hotel, there's going to be public hearings to find out how the community feels about this project. Now, the Steamtown Park will already get $20 million from Congress. The National Park Service is going to finalize its plans to construction to get underway and start using that money before the year is out. So keep this in mind. If you are interested in giving your comment about how this site is turned to Steamtown Historic National Park, be at the Lackawanna Hilton Hotel tonight or tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I'm Melissa Sandler reporting live at the Instacam in Stanton.
All right, Karen, thank you. We were talking about the crowds. We set a big record on Sunday. Yesterday, there was a big record that nobody even expected because of the good weather, of course. And that means people are coming in by the thousands. 16,000 more people came yesterday than came back in 1958 when they set a record of 58,000. 74,000 people came yesterday. Today, Jack says from Skycam, more cars coming in than he saw yesterday at this time. So maybe another record will be set tonight. We won't know, of course, until things are closed. Let's take a look at some of the things that are happening at this fair tonight. Right in the shell, of course, the band shell. There's free entertainment going on all the time. Right now, the Nichols Brothers, a vocal group, are performing. Spring Garden Band, all kinds of music, and the Mud Flaps at 8. And the grandstand, of course, at 8:30 tonight, the Judge, that famous mother and daughter country western duo, along with balladeer Gary Moore. A musical night here at the Columbia County Fair. And, of course, let's find out about the weather, because the weather is the most important thing when it comes to fairgoers. How about it, Tom?
Nolan, you're right. The weather, just magnificent the past few days. It is a beautiful evening here at the fair, but things are about to change, and I'll be back to tell you what to expect in just a moment. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV. We're proud to serve Unityville and all of Lycoming County.
Town and Country Furniture Gallery brings you the Hanger-Down collection of fine furniture, along with the best of Century, Baker, and Pennsylvania House. Town and Country brings you the best of Hanger-Down in classic, bold, and contemporary looks at prices you won't find anywhere else. There's free delivery, free design advice, and a 30-year reputation of service and value at Wilkes-Barre's best. Town and Country Furniture, South Main, downtown Wilkes-Barre.
James Floyd's Fall Festival of Savings going on now. It's the biggest sale of the year on everything for your home. Enjoy Carpet One guarantees on lifetime installation and the area's lowest prices.
Save on SOX nylon carpet from Evans & Black by Armstrong. Now just $11.75 a square yard installed. SOX nylon carpet from Evans & Black resists stain and soil. Evans & Black carpets of Airco nylon.
During this sale, take 12 months to pay with no interest. James Floyd Watering Company. There's a showroom near you.
Union members rallied at the state capitol in Harrisburg today, calling on the legislature to look at the basic needs of working men and women. About 200 people want lawmakers to raise the minimum wage and provide job health and safety protection for public workers. Union officials say in our society there's a growing difference between upper and lower income families, and it's up to the lawmakers to protect those on the bottom of the wage scale. While the people in the rally were calling on officials to raise the minimum wage, some of our lawmakers were moving into the most expensive office building ever built by tax dollars. Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds reports from Harrisburg. There are differing opinions on the new office complex.
It took crews about 6 years to build the new Capitol Annex. It's made of 76,000 pieces of granite. The stones came from the same Vermont quarry used for the original Capitol building 81 years ago. Inside the new annex building, there's piped-in music in almost every room, fountains, glass domes, and lots of brass, right down to the water fountain. The building cost about $119 million, but officials tell me they also had to spend an additional $4 million to buy brand new furniture to make sure that everyone is nice and comfortable.
That's one of the reasons why the public dislikes politicians, because we basically eat like an elephant. We all retail in statement, and we produce very little.
Representative Gaynor Cawley and some others voted against the new annex, but are moving into the new complex anyway.
What happens if I stay in my complex? Then somebody else is going to move over there, they're going to move into their office. So it's a matter of two moves rather than one.
Ironically, some lawmakers who voted for the annex aren't moving in.
We're happy that there's more space, because I think state government has grown tremendously in our responsibility. I don't think the space is as functional as it could have been.
Others say while the new annex is expensive, it's a symbol of what we all believe in and will be around for hundreds of years.
I believe government buildings should be structured in such a way to be everlasting and to represent the power of the people.
Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, Harrisburg.
Here at the Bloomsburg Fair, 3 beautiful, sunny, warm, wonderful days. Everybody's been saying thank you. They've been coming to the milkshake stand, such as this one that Dick Agnew is taking over for his brother who's done it, or his father who's done it for 60 years here at the Bloomsburg Fair. So we're going to have a toast right now to our weatherman who's given us 3 days of beautiful weather. Tom, can you come through for the rest of the fair? Nolan, it has been my pleasure talking about the warm weather, and what a crowd tonight. I'm telling you, temperatures up close to 80 once again. Just some cirrus clouds overhead now, but that is indicating a change is brewing, and it looks like a little bit of rain is on the way for the fair tomorrow, and then another big change in the temperature trend, and we'll talk about which way it's going to go in just a moment. I guess you can imagine. Beginning tonight with our current conditions from in the backyard. View from Skycam 16. Just a great day for flying. We had a nice flight down here today. Some of the leaves beginning to change color. Low 70s now. Humidity 50%. The wind from the south at 12. The barometer falling from 29.96. Check out the high today. 78 degrees. 54 this morning. 85 the record. Set back in 1921. And 33 the record low for this state in September. Now, there's no rain in the eastern half of Pennsylvania yet, but as you can see from the cloud photograph, the clouds are closing in now. It's raining a bit over the western counties of the Commonwealth, and farther west across Detroit and out by Cleveland and Cincinnati. It's raining now. A cold front heading our way. That line will be getting here tomorrow afternoon, and then a strong surge of Canadian air coming down for Thursday. Temperatures should be in the 50s for highs on that day, but after the rain tomorrow, the colder air, and then it looks like the temperatures will be staying below normal as we head into the weekend, but not all that bad despite the rain tomorrow as we head through into Friday and Saturday. A little more rain is possible, but it looks pretty good. Look at the folks out west. Beautiful day out there, and some big thunderstorms over the Gulf of Mexico. That could develop into a storm system down that way. For the sunrise time, sun for tomorrow morning, that will be at 6:58, and the sun sets tomorrow evening at 6:49. Cloudy tonight, or becoming cloudy. Some rain after midnight at the fair. Low temperatures about 60 degrees. It will be raining tomorrow morning, so take along the umbrella. Periods of rain through the morning hours, and then kind of tapering down to a few showers later in the day. 64 tomorrow's high. Then I'm calling for only about 56 tomorrow on Thursday. A partly sunny day, a cold wind, and then on Friday, clouding up once again. Another fast-moving storm out of Canada. A little more rain later on Friday and into parts of Saturday, but cool as we go. So time for umbrellas and jackets. Once again at the Bloomsburg Fair. A tremendous crowd tonight. We're having a good time, and now, Nolan, let's get a milkshake. What do you say? I already have mine, Tom. Good luck. But anyway, we're going to hope that perhaps something that's being cooked up by Mike Stevens coming up on what's ahead, and it'll go with the milkshake. But before that, Tim Pelton's coming along on the Sports Watch. Tonight, he'll have some talk on the NFL strike, along with the latest college football rankings. Find out where the Lions, Irish, and the Panther are.
millstone, and the computer. Symbols of past and present. From its beginning more than 100 years ago, Pennsylvania Millers has grown to a national insurance company. We use the most modern tools to offer old-fashioned security for your home, business, and automobile. Call a Pennsylvania Millers agent and find out how our century of security means a commitment to your future.
Some people are going to like the rankings, some are not.
Okay. Couldn't have said it any better myself. This is the week when the college football rankings by the Associated Press come out on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we have them for you. And I wonder where Penn State, Pitt, and Notre Dame are ranked. Well, first of all, Oklahoma's number 1, 44-56 first place votes. They're 3-0. Number 2, Nebraska with 12 first place votes. At number 3, look at them just shooting up there. Miami of Florida, they got 4 first place votes. They're up from number 5. At number 4, Florida State. They were number 6 last week. At number 5, how about that? The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame up from 8. They beat Purdue 44-20. I just thought you Irish fans would enjoy that. You always say I ignore Notre Dame. Number 6 is Auburn, down from 3rd. Number 7 is LSU. Number 8 is Clemson. They're up from 9th. Up from 7th, or down from 7th, rather, to 9th is Ohio State. Number 10 is Tennessee. Now, the second 10, UCLA, Michigan, Arizona State, Penn State at number 14. They're up from 15. Number 15 is Texas A&M. 16th is Washington. Alabama and Iowa are tied for 17th. That makes Florida at 19, Georgia at number 20, and Pitt is not in the top 20 for the second straight week. And I don't know why that's happening either. Well, I'm surprised Penn State didn't move up a little more on the rankings, considering they beat a pretty good Boston College team Saturday night. But those AP sports broadcasters and writers just don't respect the paternal program at Penn State. Well, anyway, if you saw the Penn State-BC game, you saw one of the greatest catches ever made by a college football player. But you didn't see it as well as Sports Watch 16 photographer Dave Bertram, who was, as usual, right where he should have been. And I sound like his agent here. Take a look at this. BC's Tom Waddle, the incredible catch. And we got a better angle than anybody, ESPN or anybody else for that matter. Here it is one more time in slow-mo. That is just fabulous. Love to see that. All right. The 8th day of the NFL players' strike, and nobody's talking at the negotiating table. The only talk heard today, NFL Players Union President Gene Upshaw threatening to disrupt Sunday's non-union games scheduled by the owners. Upshaw saying the union will do anything to keep Sunday's games with substitute players from being played. He made the comments as he traveled from city to city, meeting with striking players and trying to keep their support of the 8-day-old walkout. I can't believe the NFL owners have the gall to think football fans will buy the non-union second-rate games coming up this weekend as legitimate. I can't believe the networks have decided to air them as regular games. And I really can't believe the owners and league are even thinking about counting the strike-breaker games in the standings. And what's more, I can't believe the players really think they're going to win free agency out of the strike. They aren't, they won't, and they never will get the free agency deal. And truthfully, I can't understand why they want it. They make an average of $230,000 a year, and if you add that up over an average 4-year career, that's almost $1 million. I wish I made $1 million over the next 4 years. Come on, guys, give it up and give the fans what they deserve, quality football. What can I tell you? Nolan, none of us make $250,000 a year. We still have a good time, and we give them a quality sportscast and quality newscast, and I know you're having fun with Bloomsburg there, so it's back to you.
Thank you, Tim. Fun it is. I have a brand new friend, too. She's right down here. Hi, honey. What is your name? Nicole. And I understand, where's Grandpa? Where is he? You know where? He's in the hospital, isn't he? And you want to wave at Grandpa? Go ahead, wave at Grandpa. That'll make him feel real fine. He'll be out of the hospital soon. In the meantime, we'll tell you that when Newswatch 16 continues, Mike Stevens will have a look at a family tradition here at the fair that goes back more than 40 years. That's next from the Pennsylvania Road.
Dear Jessica, sorry, but I was called back to the office. Hope you made the hockey team. I left your favorite, Mayor's bread. Other stuff in fridge. Love, Mom.
Good texture, good taste, and most of all, good feeling. From Mayor's, the baker of bread.
Finally Finally tonight, we have a story that combines the tradition of this 133-year-old fair with, as you might expect, food. And I can't think of anybody more expert from our staff that knows about food than our very own Mike Stevens. He's live someplace around here on the fairgrounds, and he's going to have a story for us. Mike?
Hi, Nolan. I had a prop here all set for this little shot that we were going to do, but unfortunately I ate them all. They're French fries, or what's left of French fries. Everybody who comes to the fair enjoys French fries. You almost have to when you come to a place like this. But there's one fella here who knows a lot about French fries, and after looking at them for so many years, well, he ought to. After a while here, you begin to realize that little really changes. Same stands in the same places, run by the same folks. George Miller has his French fry stand here, has for 41 years. Son Dick runs it. George is retired.
He's home in Colesville, New York, about 50 miles outside Buffalo.
On a good day, Dick will use up to a ton of potatoes, 400 to 500 pounds on a slow day. From peeling the potatoes to everything else, there's nothing easy.
It's a hard one. You've got to like it. There's a lot of other things you can do besides this. It's probably easier.
But Dick's father decided years ago that if they were going to make French fries, they'd better use fresh fudge. So what if it isn't easy? Dick travels 7 months a year from Canada to North Carolina, peeling, cutting, frying all the way.
So what's usually in it? I don't know. Just the in me, I guess. Brought up in it, and I kind of enjoyed it, and I've been out in the summertime.
The grease for fries is at 320 degrees. That makes this place into an oven some days as batch after batch of plain old potatoes become French fries.
You can tell when they're done. They'll float, and they'll be crispy and crunchy.
So from here, it's on to North Carolina for Dick and his fryers. More potatoes, more fries. But probably next year, it'll be here again for another week. Traditions, like this fair, just seem to go on. Well, Nolan, Dick tells me that the best way to eat French fries is with vinegar. That way you get the real taste of the potato. So I'm going to go and get another cup and try them with vinegar. Now back to you.
I hope they're good with ice cream sodas or sundaes, because that's what I have. Thanks, Mike. We'll be joining us. For the team, I'm Nolan Johannes, and that's it for Tuesday from the Bloomsburg Fair.
And be sure to join us tonight on Newswatch 16 Updates, and we'll have the latest on Governor Casey's medical condition. Nolan?
Thank you, Karen. We'll see you back there.
Enjoy your evening.